Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, the Multidimensional MD. Thank you so much for joining me again today. As always, my mission is to help bring back the intuitive aspects of health back to medicine in practical and tangible ways so that you can access deeper healing and experience more peace, love, and joy in your everyday lives. So every week, I meditate on what to talk about. And this week, I thought I will continue the conversation that I started last week. I talked about nail signs of nutritional deficiencies. So this week, I thought I would talk about skin signs of nutritional deficiencies because these are such obvious ways that you can see, literally see, how your body is communicating with you. And if I can help you understand those messages from your body, then you will be better equipped to take care of yourself. And if you can take care of yourself, then this is a win-win situation. So before I get started, just one announcement. I do have a lymph pumping class coming up that will be in person. So this is the first time I've offered an in-person lymph pumping class to non-physicians. And this will be Saturday, September 16th from 10 a.m. to noon. So I am in Roswell, Georgia. This is Eastern time. And it will be a small group, so not more than 8 people, so that you can get a lot of attention and help you learn how to pump the lymph system and get things moving so that you can drain inflammation of many different kinds. With that, we are going to go through many multiple different pictures of what can be going on in your skin and what that could be a sign of in terms of nutritional deficiencies. So this will be fun. I'm going to go we'll go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things, and I will put a picture with each one. So the first one we're going to talk about is dandruff or seborrhea dermatitis. It's a kind of seborrhea dermatitis. And let me show you a picture for that. That's something I think a lot of people are familiar with, that kind of flakiness of the scalp. It could be like a dryness of the scalp, but it can get like more flakiness. And what people don't know is that seborrhea, it's not just those like that dry skin. It can actually affect the skin in other ways. And so here's a picture of how seborrhea can affect the skin. And here in this picture, it's of the scalp, but you can see that spread to other parts of the body as well. So dandruff tends to be an indicator of some, it could be like some hormonal changes. So very common, that cradle cap in the babies, but it can also come about in puberty in the teen years. But it could also be a sign of some nutritional deficiencies or a combination of those hormonal changes and the need for more nutrition and those needs and deficiencies, especially in vitamin D, vitamin Bs, including B2, riboflavin, B3, niacin, B6, pyridoxine, B7, biotin. So just think of Bs, B complex in general, and zinc. So if you have like any dryness of your scalp, any flakiness of your scalp, dandruff or seborrhea and any other areas of the body, then think about getting a B complex. See if you're getting enough sun, what time of year is it, and are you getting skin exposure to the sun, so you're getting a good source of vitamin D and zinc. So what sorts of things could you eat? Whole grains, nuts, seeds, green veggies, organ meats. So in general, you'll hear me say the same things over and over again because all of these will be ways to eat healthy and ways to get those kinds of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients through the food. But if it's difficult to get it through that way, then often we will need to supplement to just speed up the process. So a lot of these things nutrients are needed for the skin to repair itself, that zinc and vitamin C. And so these nutrients, again, are part of a healthy diet. So let's keep going with some other pictures. So the next one is keratosis pilaris, or this goosebumpy or chicken skin. So let me show you a picture of that. So If you just think of it as like more, like it looks like more prominent goosebump on tends to be like on the arms, those upper arms, or on the thighs, but could be on the cheeks or anywhere on the body. And if you have that, then that can be a sign of various nutrient deficiencies. And it could be from vitamin A deficiency. So vitamin A is an antioxidant, important in skin repair. Again, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin K2, which helps to bring calcium to the bones, or calcium where it's needed, away from the arteries, more to other areas of the body where it's needed. B vitamins, zinc, magnesium, omega 3s. So again, we're looking at antioxidants, minerals, vitamin D, which acts as a hormone in the body, those B vitamins, and omega 3s, so healthy fats. You can get that through fish, like wild fish, wild salmon, tilapia, chia seeds, hemp seeds. And those antioxidants you can get through those orange, red, blue kind of foods. So carrots, sweet potato, the berries that you see, that nice vibrant color, red cabbage, and which I always call purple cabbage because it's purple. And the vitamin K2 you can get through fermented foods, but I would say most people are deficient. I did another episode on that. And if you address these things, then you can improve that keratosis, pilaris, that goosebumpy skin. Sometimes it does involve like addressing certain food sensitivities, allergies. So that's another thing to look into. You can also see another episode I did, episode 106, which is on eczema and other itchy skin issues. And so there's a lot of information there that can also apply to the keratosis. So now a variant of that keratosis is going to be frynoderma. So it looks like it's a little bit more prominent. They call it toad skin. So you see on those elbows, and you're getting a little bit more prominent little patches there where you got these raised papules. And if you see that, then again, it is these similar vitamins. So usually in the literature, frynoderma is associated with some antioxidants, vitamins E, vitamin A, and B vitamins, as well as omega 3s. But it can also be just if you're malnourished in general. So, so you're starting to see the trend. And vitamin A is going to be really important. B vitamins, fatty acids, omega 3 fatty acids. So you start to see that there are variations in how they can manifest in different people, but you'll see how it can manifest in different areas of the body as well. So if we look at another thing called these bitto spots, which are in the eyes, and let me show you a picture of that. So here that is, which is really interesting because it's another one of these vitamin A deficiencies. And if you see, there's that kind of spongy, foamy whiteness, roughness to that area of the white. There, you can see that brown behind it, but it's hard to see with the light. But there is sort of this white raised foamy appearance there. And like, to me, that's a reminder of that keratosis or those that toad skin. And it's just another area of the body where vitamin deficiencies, especially vitamin A, can appear. And so you can see here, so it's affecting the outer layer of the eye, that conjunctiva. And a lot of times it can be associated with dryness of the eye as well. So if we keep going here, another thing to look for, there's so many different kinds of rashes in the body. And, when I was in medical school, I thought about going into dermatology. So this is a special interest of mine. So angular cheilitis, let me pull that up for you. 1 second, I have to go back and forth here. So here's one picture. I'm going to show you a couple different pictures. This is a little bit milder form. So you see those cracks in the corners of the mouth. This is also called angular stomatitis or angular, angular cheilitis, or it can be associated with certain mouth ulcers. And this is commonly associated with B vitamin deficiencies. I'm going to show you another picture that is a little bit more here. So you see that crack in the corner of the mouth. And if you get like any cracking or redness or dryness in the corners of your mouth, then think about getting more B vitamins in your diet. And again, you can get those through those dark leafy greens, nuts and seeds, and minerals. If you need to, take a vitamin B complex. Now, if that what could be associated with this as well, with that redness in the corners of the mouth, sometimes that can be a sign of yeast in the body, and so your gut flora is off, and so that can tell you to get more probiotic foods in your diet, or to look at the ratio of what you're eating, and maybe not to eat so many processed foods. Those sugars and carbs are going to be feeding more yeast-like things and yeast-like flora, and to balance your gut flora, but not just your gut flora. It's like your whole body flora, in a way that you can your skin can heal, and you aren't going to be prone to like yeast-like infections on the skin. So that a yeast infection is different than that angular cheilitis, but can look really similar, which is why I mention it here. And you can also get that kind of redness in the folds of your neck, or under the breast, and the underarms, and the folds of the thighs, or the buttocks. And if you get that redness, then that can be a sign of yeast overgrowth in the body. And again, to balance your gut flora by getting more probiotic foods in your diet, and by looking at the ratios of what you're eating. So next up here I have is looking at periphollicular hemorrhages. So let me show you a picture of that. And so you see here, it's like right at the pores, right where those hairs will be coming out. And so sometimes you might see a keratosis pilaris with the little goosebumpies. And if you do have that, then you'll see if you have little redness around there, then that is a classic sign of vitamin C deficiency. So vitamin C is so important for the collagen and the skin healing. And if you have those little red spots, or you could get like little blood spots in the skin, little petechiae. Now that can be a sign of more serious illness. So if you get any of that, to definitely check in with your healthcare practitioner. But other signs of vitamin C deficiency that could go along with that are some bleeding in the gums, easy bruising, and so forth. So the next one I have is ichthyosis vulgaris. So this is really interesting because I'll show this here, that picture. You can kind of see that like mottled looking of the skin, like little islands there in the skin. And it can be inherited or acquired condition. If it's inherited, then there is some problem with a variation in the filaggrin protein. And so the skin barrier is not maintained as easily. So about 50% of people that have that will also have eczema or atopic dermatitis. And one important thing to note is that even if you have this genetic variant and you notice that in your skin, I can notice this in my skin sometimes, but that doesn't mean that your genetics, you're stuck with having that kind of skin, because your genotype does not determine your phenotype, which is the genetic expression of your genes. So this is where that nature and nurture come in, and addressing other things in certain nutrients, how your body responds to things in your life, can help with ichthyosis vulgaris. So one thing that can commonly occur with this are, again, food allergies and sensitivities, just like the keratosis pilaris. So if you see that your skin gets really dry like that and gets those like patchy little island looking things, then explore food allergies and sensitivities. It might be needing to balance and tune up your nervous system in general. It's just in this overreactive state. You could also have a variety of nutrient deficiencies, including the minerals, magnesium, zinc, or antioxidants, the ones that we've commonly mentioned, vitamin A, C, E, vitamin D, again, will be really important, those omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin K2. So in general, healthy eating and exploring food sensitivities and allergies if you see that. Now, one last thing that I wanted to go over is called acanthosis nigricans. And this is something where it's not necessarily a certain nutrient that can be deficient in, but this is a sign of insulin sensitivity. So, tendency towards diabetes or blood sugar imbalance. So, if you look here, you can find that commonly in the folds of the skin, so under the arms and the neck, and the creases of the skin. So, that is, if you look at the picture, there's some darkening to the skin or hyperpigmentation, and there will be a thickening of the skin. That's sort of this velvety thickening. And it can be flat, or those what we call macules, or it could be slightly raised papules. And it can be even much more severe than that, to these much more rough plaques there that you see in this picture. So those are two different pictures of acanthosis nigricans. And now, if that pops up suddenly in you, then definitely talk to your physician to take a look at your insulin levels, your sugar levels, your hemoglobin A1C. But it can also be a sign of more serious things in the body, malignancies or cancer. Majority are not that. It's most commonly a sign of insulin resistance, but to just check in if you're not sure. And I did another podcast recently, episode 151, on 8 supplements to support blood sugar imbalance. So if you have that in your skin, if you see that on your skin, then definitely take a look at that podcast, because it'll give you a lot of ideas how to address sugar balance, insulin resistance. And there are, some people say that it can change, some people say it can't, but if you address it, it can get better. The sooner, before it starts to make more concrete changes in the skin, of course, it's much easier to reverse it. So prevention is really a key here. And so if you start to see these simmering signs in your body, on your skin, then these are beautiful messages from your body to you, asking you, telling you exactly how you can help yourself. So don't look at your skin as, I know it's our outward appearance, so we can get so tied up in how we look and what people think of us, and what that means to other people. But look at it as how your body is speaking to you. And if you can learn to understand yourself, hear yourself, see yourself better, then you can attune yourself or become more resonant with your true self. So this is when body, mind, and spirit are more aligned. And your skin is such an obvious way for your body to communicate with you. So don't ignore those signs. There are so many other things that I could go over in terms of skin, because dermatology, again, is its own specialty. And so maybe I will do that with a friend of mine who is an integrative dermatologist, and we can talk about some other things. And upcoming, we'll be talking about hair thinning. I know that's a big question for people, but we can go through like other signs in your skin and what that means for what's going on inside your body, because the part always represents the whole. So you can take your skin, which is your biggest organ in your body, and see what does that mean on the inside. So just last thing, if you haven't watched the episode 47, 8 ways to see and feel how beautiful you really are, I thought that would be a nice kind of way to end this one, because we always think of as beauty as what is on the surface, but it is so much more than that. And this is part of like being more in harmony of our true selves. And if we address that, then we can have this inner beauty like glowing from the inside out, and it will affect the way your skin looks and feels. So I hope that this was helpful for you in some way. If you have any questions on this, please leave them in the comments. I would love to connect with you. And if you'd like to connect with me in other ways, you can on Instagram at All Worlds Health, on my Facebook, All Worlds Health and Pediatrics, and via my website, allworldshealth.com. You can always sign up for my e-love letters. I send them out every week on Wednesdays. And thank you so much for being here with me. And Dr. OMT, thanks for visiting. So nice to see you here again. And lots of love to all of you. I believe in you, and I hope that you believe in you too. So I'll see you next time, another episode of the MultiDimensional MD, midday on Wednesday. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.